Hello, Malte. I'm very, very glad that you are here at Voice Tech Up, and you are experienced conversational AI entrepreneur and founder of Parloa. .com platform, which is a very enhanced conversational AI platform. Yeah, you're based in Germany, as I know, and we're very glad to see today what you can do with this platform, right? So, yeah, maybe you can shortly introduce yourself and give a short input on Parloa.com.
Yeah. Thanks, Nina, and thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure. So first of all, Parloa, you said it, it's a conversational AI platform. We help companies to make their customer communication more efficiently. So to directly route customers to the right agents or to authenticate the customers directly or to solve easy end-to-end use cases. So you can more or less think about us as a highly scalable agent who's doing all the repetitive tasks. And here we are focused on the channel phone, but obviously we can also do chat messaging and so on. Yeah, based in Berlin and growing pretty fast right now.
Cool. And what makes you so unique compared to other conversational AI platforms? There are a lot around, but it would be interesting to know what is your uniqueness. Yeah.
Yeah, so very good question. We always were focused on the channel voice or phone. So we spend a lot of time optimizing everything to create the best, the most compelling experience on the channel phone. And that's what we can and are also very happy to benchmark. So that's more or less our unfair advantage, right? To have the best, the greatest experience on the phone, which still is the most important channel for customers, right?
Yeah, and I mean, there are a lot of companies, insurances, financial companies, but also medical offices which use phone, and you get into this waiting loop, and it's just like really annoying as a user.
Yeah,
And
agree.
this speech to text technology is gaining also importance now, and it's getting better and better. And how do you do this exactly? How can I plug in Parloa in my phone environment?
Yeah, so you can easily plug it into your existing omni-channel platform. For example, your Genesys platform, where you then can, after the call is transferred to an agent, the agent sees all the context data because we don't want to authenticate a user and ask what the problem is, and then we forward the call to the agent, and then the agent needs to ask everything again. So, right? That's why we always, it's a must-have to transfer the data to the agent. So there are different ways of integrating. It's via PSTN or via SIP. And through those ways, you can directly integrate into the omnichannel platform. There are also other ways in Genesys, for example, to get the voice streamed directly from the platform. So
Yeah.
that would be the third way to then integrate into the omnichannel platform.
And how can I imagine your platform? It's a conversational AI builder also for flows. So yeah, how do your customer use it? They have a conversation designer using the flows and integrating this as a tool in a company and make it usable for, let's say, customer care agents, or how does that look like in a daily life of a customer user, right, or agent?
Yeah. So exactly, we have our engine, and then we have the low code, no code platform on top of that, in which companies can model their dialogues, their processes on their own, can connect the backend like a CRM on their own, or can train the machine learning algorithms on their own. And there are customers directly working in Parloa, but there are also customers working with integrators, and the integrators are working then in Parloa in the front end. To give you one example, the Ergo is working with Parloa with a lot of people internally across different countries, across different subsidiaries, and creating dialogues, machine learning models within Parloa, and also transferring them to other countries so that they can reuse all
All
things
training
which
and flows.
exactly.
Cool. And so you basically have a technology stack behind. Can I know which one, or is it
Yeah,
based on
so
Microsoft stack, or is it based on Azure?
yeah, so we are run on Azure. We have a close partnership with Microsoft, so we are obviously leveraging the cognitive services from Microsoft, so speech to text, text to speech, and orchestrating then around those components, different other components in order to create the best experience. But yes, partnering closely with Microsoft there.
And then what is also often a big issue or challenge is that companies use flow design tools, let's say really for the content creation and for the design of the bot, but then they fall back with labeling tools or tools for annotation. This is also a central component of Parloa. So you have a view to label data and annotate data, as you said, with training, I assume.
Yeah, so both is part of our front end. So you can model the processes because still you have processes in companies, right?
Yeah.
So you somehow need to model them. And there has been this process or this approach in the past to train processes based on past conversations and machine learning based, which is very hard, and we have not seen a company really be successful with that. So at the end, for processes, you need to design the processes. This will probably emerge over the next 1, 2, 3 years, right? But at the moment, you still need to design those processes. So that's the one part. The other part is labeling data for natural language understanding, for the speech to text, and so on. And that you can also directly do within Parloa. So you have one platform to model the processes and to train speech to text, NLU, and so on.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds really interesting because this is something a lot of companies have to tackle with this challenge. And what is also interesting to know is, or many companies have to do it, is this customization of their internal language. Let's say insurances have special terms they have to handle or have custom jargon, some tone of voice and stuff like that. How do you manage this?
Yeah, you can train your own model based on those own words, right? Because they're important. If you have a specific insurance type, or in a bank, a specific product type, which can't be transcribed from a speech to text in the right way, then you have a problem. But for every customer, you can train those models so that the speech to text is then transcribing those words in the right way. So yes, it's possible, and we also highly recommend that because every company has somehow own words.
And you can. Is it possible to put in even like separate libraries of NLP models, so you are like really relying only on the libraries of Microsoft?
So for the NLU, we are using different open source frameworks, which we put together in order to orchestrate the best open source components out there. And that's also what we're offering. So if there are any libraries which are highly important for the customer, yes, we can integrate them if we haven't integrated them already, and if we think it makes sense.
Cool. So now we got a lot of technical background, and you see that you can do a lot with this Parloa conversational AI platform. What would be now interesting to know is to maybe deep dive into the use cases you develop. Maybe you can say some typical cases you solved with Parloa.
Yeah. So we always talk about three buckets, right? The first bucket is the routing, to find out what the customer is talking about and then to route to the right agent or right skill group within the company. The second use case is authentication, pretty straightforward, during waiting time or before routing to the agent. And the third is the end-to-end processes. So it could be change of address, change of banking details, but also could be a order process. So for example, for HSE, we are automating their order hotline, and people are calling and buying a product via Parloa. So that's an end-to-end process, which then directly leads to revenue. So there are different use cases when it comes to the end-to-end use cases.
Okay, so you can even like attach or integrate APIs, or this would be rather done than on the backend side of the customer, right?
Exactly. So for our HSE, for example, in one call, there are 8 API calls during the whole call with backends. Is the product still available? In which sizes? In which colors? And so on. So it's a very like complicated way of like making a purchase, and that's everything happens in one call.
Cool. So that's giving a big good picture of what you can all do. Are you also like possible to say how many customers you serve with the platform? Maybe also if you've seen some changes during the years, more traffic or how much traffic?
Yeah, so we are not specifically talking about customer numbers or revenue or something like that, but I can give you some numbers which are openly available. So HSE, for example, to give you one customer number, they are automating 3 million calls via Parloa per year. 70% of the calls are converting, 10% doing cross sales. And when it comes to the market, we are seeing a large increase in demand for such technology, because all companies have challenges with getting a lot of agents, right? So there is long waiting time, so you need to do something about it to decrease the waiting time again. So we see high increase in demand, and in general also the contact center market is growing because the development from offline to online is a constant progress, right? From retail to e-commerce, or from the insurance broker on the corner to online insurance, same with banking and so on. So the whole contact center space will grow. And that's why also the demand for good contact center customer service is growing, but there are not enough agents. So we see a development which helps us, obviously, as a company.
And when you look more into those companies, is it really more the development teams or digital teams providing this, or is it really like an integration of customer agents also in such innovation projects? So how do they do this, let's say your customers, this organizational challenge?
Yeah, so we often talk with the customer service units, but also digital units, IT departments. And there are then the people working in Parloa. Those are people like doing the processes before, or leading projects which optimize processes and so on. And then you have agents who are, for example, doing the training within Parloa to label the data, for example. But again, in every company, it's a little bit different. Yeah.
Cool. So we've got a huge input from you. That's very useful, I think, for a lot of companies in this struggling with this problem at the moment, right? So thank you a lot for your insights. If you don't have any, let's say, other points to add, I would say that is already a lot of great help for a lot of companies out there. Thank you a
Yeah,
lot,
thanks, Lina.
Malte.
Thanks for inviting me. And maybe to all of you, if you want to experience Parloa, how great the experience on the phone is, feel free to reach out. We're happy to show you how that works in real life, and not just by telling you how it works, but really show you. So feel free to reach out on LinkedIn or to malte@parloa.com. And thanks, Lina, for the invitation.
Cool. Thank you.